Yo, it's hard being a DC fan out here. It's your boy Dollars. Welcome back to the Dollar Cast, and we got some movie news for you guys today. Apparently, a report came out from Variety, which is a movie reporting website. Basically, a lot of movies that DC were making are about to be canceled. Wonder Woman 3, Man of Steel 2, all these movies look like they will not have a release date. They are being canceled. A while back, a few months ago, or I want to say probably like a month ago, DC decided to make James Gunn the head of DC Films. He's going to be taking control of DC movies. He's basically going to become the Kevin Feige of DC movies now. James Gunn, he's known for his Guardians of the Galaxy movies. I like the first one. The second one was okay. The third one looks really good. He also worked on The Suicide Squad, which was the second Suicide Squad, and he worked on The Peacemaker show for HBO Max. Now, I'm not going to say whether, I think he's the person for the job, the right guy for the job. I mean, apparently they like him enough to give him that position. So he's working on a DC Bible, which is basically a 10-year plan that he was gonna present to the CEO of Warner Brothers next week. I don't want to jump to conclusions. I know I've been seeing a lot of videos. People are upset about this. People love Zack Snyders DC. They love a lot of the characters that Zack Snyder introduced, including me. I love Wonder Woman. I think Gal Gadot was the best Wonder Woman. Henry Cavill as Superman. Ben Affleck as Batman, my favorite Batman, my favorite version. Zack Snyder was responsible for giving us the best Batman scene, that warehouse scene in BVS. So there's a lot of people that love Zack Snyder's universe, and they're upset because now they feel like, you know what, we are never going to get the full potential of what could have been, and honestly, that's Warner Brothers' fault. Warner Brothers from the beginning, Warner Brothers messed up, man. They should have released the full 3-hour version of BVS in theaters, because the theatrical version that they released was missing a lot of important scenes, and a lot of people didn't like that version. So that turned people off, and they were very reactionary. When Suicide Squad was supposed to come out, it was supposed to be a darker movie. It was a serious tone, but then they seen how people complained about BVS, and they decided, oh no, we gotta copy Guardians of the Galaxy. They try to copy Marvel, and they did a horrible job because DC is a darker universe. The tone of DC is not like Marvel's. You can't make every DC character just like Marvel does. You can't always have it comedic and lighthearted. Now, there are some characters in DC that, you can make lighthearted, like the Flash, but the Flash has a tragic, origin story too, so not everything about the Flash could be all funny, but there are characters that you can make lighthearted. Now, when it comes to Wonder Woman 3 being canceled and stuff like that, I don't feel like they are canceled for good. What I feel like, okay, James Gunn is working on a plan. So anything that these other directors want to put out is on hold because you don't know how those movies are going to fit into his 10-year plan. I'm not saying that those movies are canceled forever. Basically, he wants to map out the universe, the DC universe, and then he'll say, okay, now let's see how we fit in Wonder Woman. I don't think we're gonna see the last of Gal Gadot. The Henry Cavill situation is a little bit upsetting because he just came back as Superman. He announced on Instagram that he was gonna be Superman again, and this was something that we wanted for a long time. We should have been had a Man of Steel 2. That was something that a lot of us were looking forward to, and he had the little post-credit scene in Black Adam 2. So it was looking like we was about to get our Superman back. And then this report comes out, and now they're saying that, oh, he didn't really sign on. He may not be coming back. That's very disappointing, and that's the one thing I would be upset about. Um, Apparently Aquaman 2 is going to be the last Aquaman with Jason Momoa. So after Aquaman 2, he's not going to be coming back as Aquaman apparently, but James Gunn wants him to come back as Lobo. And that's actually Jason Momoa's favorite character, comic book character. He always wanted to make a Lobo movie. So, you know, it just seems like they're going to reboot everything and restart. And some of these actors may come back in one shape or form. It makes me wonder if the Flash movie is going to be the movie that they use to reset the universe. It would be the most logical. It's the one thing that a lot of us fans been contemplating and hoping for. Like, okay, if you're going to restart the universe, it's like you can't just reboot everything, and it's just there's so much stuff going on with DC. Is like you need to use the Flash movie to reboot everything and start fresh, right? Now, my whole thing is, yes, I love Zack Snyder's universe. You know, I was pissed off how Warner Brothers treated Zack Snyder when he was making Justice League. They took him off. They gave us Josh Whedon. Warner Brothers was to blame for everything that went wrong with the DC universe, bro. The executives released Justice League, the Josh Whedon version, knowing that it was going to do bad. But they still released it because they all were going to get bonuses. So that's why they still released it. They didn't care about the DC fans. You know, if y'all was going to release the movie knowing that it was going to fail anyway, just so you could receive your bonus, then why not give us the Zack Snyder version? You know, it would have been way more successful, and DC probably would have been at a better point at this point right now. You know, my whole thing is, okay, Aquaman was $1 billion franchise. It made $1 billion. The Joker made $1 billion. So what are they going to do with those movies? How do those movies fit with James Gunn new plan, right? And then you already got Shazam 2 coming out. That's still a part of the old DCU. You have Blue Beetle. So are these movies still coming out? Like, it's going to confuse people that go to watch these movies because they're going to watch them and they already know these characters from the previous DC universe. So it's like, it's going to have a lot of people confused. And again, guys, I love Zack Snyder's universe. I felt like they should have made him in charge of DC movies, bro. You know, he should be the one mapping out, because he had a lot of good ideas with Justice League 2 and 3. You know, Darkseid was supposed to be coming. They were basically going to do a Final Crisis on, was it Final Crisis? I believe they were going to do a Final Crisis storyline, which that was the whole reason why Ben Affleck signed on to be Batman, because he had a beginning and an exit. He wasn't meant to be Batman forever. You feel me? No pun intended. He was supposed to be Batman for BVS. I think he was going to get his own movie, or maybe that changed. Like, maybe he wasn't going to get his movie, but they added that as something extra. But he was supposed to do BVS, Justice League 1, 2, and 3, maybe the Batman, and another movie. He was only supposed to do 5 movies, and the last Justice League movie, he was going to die. Batman was going to die being the hero. Feel me? The way Superman died in BVS to save everybody, that Batman was going to die. And it would have been epic because we never seen that in the movies before. And that's why Ben Affleck signed on. You know, like I said, Zack Snyder had a plan, but Warner Brothers, being the bozos that they are, they didn't allow him to make his vision. You know, and that's always been a problem with Warner Brothers. They don't allow the directors to do what they want to do. Not every director should be allowed to do what they got to do. Sometimes you got to hold them by the hand and you got to rein them in. But with a director like Zack Snyder, you just got to let him do what he wants to do, bro, because he knows what he's doing. But my whole take on this situation, I'm not ready to jump to any conclusions because, you know, we don't know if a lot of that shit is true. I do feel like we're going to get Wonder Woman and Henry Cavill back some way, shape, or form, hopefully. But I also feel like, you know what, man, at this point, like, I'm so exhausted with everything they've done, DC, bro. Like, there's been a lot of hit or misses, and it's been more misses than hits. So I'm like, you know what, y'all want to reboot everything, start fresh? I could understand that too. I'm not ready to be so upset. You know, let them start fresh if they got to, bro. You got to look at it like this. When a team hires a new coach, the coach wants to put in his people in place. The coach will decide what new coaches will work for him. You know, sometimes the coach is also the GM, so he wants to put in the players that he wants. So it's like the same thing like when you're the owner of a team. You want to put fresh people and let them bring in their fresh people. So I can understand James Gunn deciding like, you know what? I'm in charge of DC now. I want to put my vision. I want to put who I like. And my whole thing is as long as he has a good plan to build out a universe and give us these characters, man, then you know what? Let him do his thing. Yes, I'm gonna be upset that Henry Cavill didn't get Man of Steel too. I felt like he is the best Superman we ever got. Gal Gadot's the best Wonder Woman. Ben Affleck was the best Batman. Jason Momoa, I mean, I liked him as Aquaman, but I don't really look at him as Aquaman. He could be Lobo if they want. Like he doesn't look comic book accurate as Aquaman anyway. So yeah, my whole thing is, yeah, let them start fresh if they want to start fresh, bro. And at the end of the day, maybe they are not going to completely reboot everything. Maybe the Flash will reset the timeline and we will get new versions of the same characters we already have. They have the building blocks, right? So another thing I want to talk about is Black Adam 2, right? Because Black Adam 1 only made about 400 million at the box office, which was kind of disappointing. I was thinking that movie would make a lot more money. I seen the movie. I liked the movie. Seen it twice. I think the movie was action packed. I think it was a fun ride. It's not nothing groundbreaking, but it was still a good movie. I was happy that The Rock finally got this movie after announcing this back in 2008. It's been almost 12 something years and then we finally get the movie and it didn't do what it was supposed to do. So I was disappointing, but I look at it like this, Black Adam isn't a character that's really known by the casual audiences. Regular moviegoers don't know who the hell Black Adam is. They didn't build him up. They didn't tease him, which was disappointing because Shazam should have teased him in some way, shape, or form. They talked a little bit about him, but they didn't really give us that, that was a missed opportunity. And I know that The Rock came out recently saying that the movie was profitable. They made 50 to 72 million, but you got to look at it like this. The movie cost like almost 200 million to make, right? And that's plus 100 million to market it. So that's 300 million and you only get 100 million back. That's not good enough for them. You got to try to double that. If it would have made 600 million, then it would be in a better place. But this is the first movie in a character that's not that known, and he released the movie when Black Panther was coming out soon after. So, Black Adam, Black Panther, people must have been like, you know what? We rather wait to see Black Panther because, come on, Marvel and the first Black Panther made $1 billion. So maybe if he would have released this like in a March time frame, maybe 2023 March, I think it would have did better. That's usually a good time to release like movies like that, like a Black Adam type of movie. Who knows if he's gonna come back? I felt like they should give him a second movie because they were teasing Henry Cavill, him fighting Henry Cavill. They could have did a Shazam versus Black Adam, which I hope they still do. Like, look, at this point, this is all speculation. Like, I know James Gunn came out recently and tweeted that some of this article is true, some of it is not true, and some of it he hasn't decided whether it's true or not. So he's still working on a plan that he's going to present next week to the CEO of Warner Brothers, David Zaslav. So I will be keeping my eye out on this to see what develops from this story. At this point, like, look, I'm not invested in DC as I was before, bro, when BVS was coming out and Justice League was coming out. I'm just happy that we finally got Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. Like, if I die, I could die happy now, man. I could die happy because that was the only thing that I ever wanted so bad was to get Zack Snyder's Justice League movie. And yes, I got greedy like all DCU fans because we wanted more after that. But listen, if that's what we got, I'm happy. Maybe they can throw us a bone and give us the Suicide Squad Ayer cut, because there's a version of Suicide Squad that they haven't released that I want them to release, which is the real version of Suicide Squad, not the bullshit we got. But yeah, man, listen, I'm not opposed to a reboot, guys. If they want to start fresh and just start everything fresh, as long as they give us good stories and they tell it concisely, I will be more than happy for that. All right. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts on this. It's your boy Dollars. I'm off this.